guys, this is Edna again. I am coming to you from Abu Dhabi, and welcome to Casual Talk with Edna. And today, I think this is my last video for the day. It was a day that I just felt like I needed to shoot a few videos. I think yesterday I talked about my travel to Abu Dhabi and some hints on what to do when you come to Abu Dhabi if you're to travel. If you're a traveler like me, you want to know places you can visit when you visit different countries. So this year I came to Abu Dhabi. In 2020, I traveled to Australia. So today I'm going to talk about traveling to Australia and some of the things you can see or do when you go to Australia. So I can say I'll give you hints on places I traveled and recommendations on other places that you can travel to. So traveling from US to Abu Dhabi, I took a flight from LA and it went straight to Sydney. I had family in Sydney, so it was a place that I needed to land to actually stay with my family. I'm going to give you sites that we saw. If you don't have family in Sydney, you can always rent a hotel, a place to stay for a week or two for your travel. One of the really beautiful, neat places I got to see is the Opera House in Sydney. I highly recommend. It's a big tourist area. You can Google that and see how beautiful the Opera House is. I'm not going into details on what the Opera House is, but that is a place a must to see. Another really neat thing to do in Sydney, Australia is climbing this Sydney Harbour Bridge. I'm gonna say this: wear comfy shoes, wear comfy clothes, because it's quite a hike. If you're not a physically fit person, it's gonna take your breath away. So I can probably say you can do the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge at the same time. Choose the time of the day though. If it's too hot, the Harbour Bridge might be a little difficult to climb when it's too hot. So just if you probably want to do the Opera House and then go climb the the Harbour Bridge, so you can save some energy, that would be a great idea. Great place to take pictures as well, so just keep that in mind. And then you can stroll around the rocks. That is a really nice neighborhood to look around. A lot of adventures there. I would highly recommend that. Beautiful architecture. You can take cruises. So when you go to the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge, you can go on cruises. So you can take either a short cruise around the area, or you can take a longer cruise. They call it the Harbour Cruise. Around the Saco Bay area, or circular QI area is what they call it. It's QUAY. That is a great. If you love the water and cruises, I would highly recommend that. Another really neat place, I would say somebody has to do this. We did this on New Year's Eve. So we were able to see the lights over the Harbour Bridge. They were shooting the lights. We spent a day. It's really recommended. It's a Darling Harbour is what they call it. I'd say rent a place a night over the Darling Harbour. It's in downtown Sydney. Great place to spend time. So I highly recommend that for anybody going to Sydney. And then they have the Botanical Garden. Oh my goodness. This was an all-day ordeal. I think we just kind of left at maybe 11, 12. And we walked around the Botanical Garden. I have some pictures on Facebook if you need that to see the place. Or you can actually just Google Botanical Garden Sydney. Beautiful places. Beautiful scent in there. There's beautiful flowers, beautiful smell. It's a neat place to visit. So you cannot go to Sydney without going to the Botanical Garden. The Queen Victoria Building. This is beautiful architecture. Don't go to Sydney without visiting the Queen Victoria Building. I'll recommend for everybody. Okay. And then I think we did go to the museum. The museum was really neat too. I'll recommend going to the museum. That you can do that. We did the Botanical Garden, I think, earlier in the morning. Towards the evening, we went to the museum. So neat places to see. And then Sydney has got beautiful beaches. So Sydney beaches, Malé Beach is a beautiful one to go to. I would highly recommend that. Bondi Beach, beautiful. And I think it was a Bondi Beach. I want to say that there's a lot of street art So if you're somebody that is into a lot of hard designs and stuff, there are beautiful architecture, beautiful hard drawings in Bondi Beach. So I recommend that. I would probably do the beach, one beach a day, because you get pretty tired of salty water, all that stuff. Maybe go to the beach and then go get something to eat. So that is Sydney for you. And then of course, if you like animals, Taronga, I think they call it Taronga, Taronga Zoo is also in Sydney, so you can go see that. I'll recommend that definitely. And also you can walk along George Street for downtown if you like a nice stroll in the evening. Oh, George Street is beautiful architecture. It's just this tall architectural buildings that are beautiful to see, like none other. I will recommend that. Let's see, what other places you can do picnics there. But let's be done with Sydney. Lots of things to see in Sydney. You can almost spend all week in Sydney just exploring Sydney. So I would say beaches, Art Gallery definitely, and all the other places I've said. And then we decided to take a train, because the beautiful thing about Australia, you can get public transportation. We took a train from Sydney, Australia, all the way to Melbourne. That was a 10-hour train ride. So this is what I would recommend if you're taking the train ride. It's very cheap, actually. It's not, to me, I prefer that than driving myself, because I'm able to kind of relax in the train. I can watch the scenery. We were able to see the kangaroos, the countryside between Sydney and Melbourne. So that was really neat. I would highly recommend that. Just take a train, plan. It's a day worth of traveling. Pack your snacks and pack your foods. The food in the train, I was not terribly impressed, but that's me. If you're a healthy eater, you're not going to like the food in there. Their choices, definitely. They have some fruits, but it's a little expensive, a little pricey for the amount of food they give you, which is, reasonable. When you think about it, it's just like buying food in the airport. So I would say pack your snacks, pack your food, definitely when you're taking the train. It's a 10-hour plus, give and take, to Melbourne, depending on, because they do stop in some stations along the way. Beautiful countryside seeing, highly recommend that. So we took a train all the way to Melbourne, spent a night in Melbourne. You can actually rent an overnight condominiums. People do have rental places that you can rent overnight. We did that, stayed overnight so that we can take our favorite cruise across to Tasmania for the next day. So we went around their beaches in Melbourne, that you can see a lot of nice shopping areas. Oh, downtown Melbourne was amazing. I did not spend a lot of time in Melbourne, but I just remember these places that we stopped. There was like a gym area outside in the walkway. Melbourne is beautiful. It's very modern, very up class. Really, really neat place to be. I would say if you can spend a few days in Melbourne, I highly recommend that, and just enjoy the scenery in Melbourne. I cannot tell you specific places to go to Melbourne because I did not, but we did walk around Melbourne. You can actually use public transportation in Melbourne, either Uber, taxi, train. And then the next day we took a train, which is a Spirit of Tasmania, across. It's a cruise across to Tasmania, because if there's anything I enjoy doing is going to the beaches. I love natural beaches. Tasmania was one of those places that I absolutely enjoyed. Again, you can either rent a car there and drive yourself, or we actually just Ubered around, and because we wanted to go from one city to the other. So there, I'm going to talk a little bit about the cruise from Melbourne to Tasmania. It's about a 10-hour plus cruise. I would highly recommend that you take the cruise overnight, so that you get to Tasmania in the morning, so you can start exploring. There's a lot of places to visit in Tasmania, and I think I will make that a video for next time. So from Melbourne, take Spirit of Tasmania. It's a 10-hour cruise. You cruise along. I highly recommend they have like either reclining chairs where you can sleep. If you're doing an overnight thing, I would recommend taking the rooms with beds, especially if you're going as a family. It was 4 of us. The room is a 4 bed room, so bunk beds in there, so you can sleep up to 4 people. and you can actually watch the ship as it's cruising along the ocean, definitely. But we were also able to sleep and get some rest, so that by the time we got to Tasmania, we were rested and ready to explore. So I would highly recommend going overnight cruise to Tasmania. For that, I'll leave it up there. I think I've given you a few tips on traveling to Australia. We will talk on the next video about Tasmania, because I think Tasmania requires a special video of its own. Until then, travel the world. It's gonna open your mind in ways that you cannot even explain. It makes you a very well-rounded person to be able to learn different cultures and see how other people live. It will get you from that close-minded environment into, wow, there is actually a bigger world out there. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.